Scott here from SGA for the Command Tip of the Week. Today we are in Rapid City, South Dakota in front of Fire Station 7, and we're going to discuss survivability profile as it relates to a secondary size up for an incident and why this information is important. There are 4 components that should be evaluated for survivability profile. These components are the occupants, the firefighters, the exposures, and the fire building. When we are evaluating the life safety issues, we use 3 descriptors. They are positive, marginal, and negative. Positive is survivability is likely. Marginal is survivability is questionable. And negative is survivability is unlikely. The best way to explain these descriptors is to take a traffic signal and invert it with the green light on top and the red light on the bottom. The green light is attached to the positive. These conditions would be smoke coming from the top third of an opening. In this condition, there's a good likelihood that victims would be able to survive in that compartment without any personal protective equipment. So in this case, we can consider taking aggressive actions if the victims are known to be or suspected to be in this compartment. This relates to our first rule of engagement, in which that we will risk a lot in a calculated manner to save savable lives. The next description is the yellow light. The yellow light is attached to marginal. Marginal conditions would be smoke coming from 2/3 of the opening or the fire coming from the top third. In this condition, there is marginal likelihood that the victims being able to survive in that compartment without any personal protective equipment. So in this case, we can consider taking calculated actions if the victims are known to be or suspected to be in this compartment. Calculated actions could be control the flow path or resetting the fire by using a transitional attack. And the last descriptor is the red light. The red light is attached to the negative, where the survivability is unlikely. Conditions would be smoke coming from the entire opening or from the top two, or fire coming from the top 2/3. In this condition, there is little or no chance of victims being able to survive that compartment without any protective equipment. So in this case, we must take protective actions first before considering entering this compartment. Protective actions may be extinguishment of the compartment to minimize the risk. This goes along with our rule of engagement: we will risk nothing to save lives or property that have already been lost. When we discuss property, which are the exposures and the fire building, we must always consider the second and third rule of engagement. These rules state that we will risk little in a calculated manner to save savable property, but we will risk nothing to save lives or property that have already been lost. This goes without saying that no firefighter's life is worth property. So our tactics must reflect this. If you identify the survivability profile and communicate it to responding crews, this information will be valuable to all responders and ensure fireground safety and tactical consistency throughout the incident. This information should be evaluated and communicated prior to any interior operations. Stay tuned for more tips on the secondary size-ups and risk assessment in the upcoming weeks. We recommend this information to be included in your secondary size-up. Be sure to practice the perishable skill of size-ups and making good decisions with valuable predictors. And as always, train like your life depends on it, because it does, and be safe out there.